it on. So looks like we're starting out with Sigil of the Storm and Reaver's Row. So Reaver's Row is going to allow Kaisa to go in, capture, and then bring her units back to protect them. Like, so ideally conquering with your Kaisa, Survivor, that kind of thing. And Sigil of the Storm on Ali's side is, hey, if the way to beat me is you have to get out to a lead. And if I say, you know, a lot of people expect like Aspirant's Climb or something, but if it's expected, where I think that Sigil of the Storm, the nice part about this is whether I go first or second as an Aurora deck, or whether I get the choice. If you start out first and you're trying to score race me, you're going to have to pay runes in order to do that, because you're going to have to go capture the Sigil of the Storm, and I can protect it with Fight or Flight. You can conquer, and then I can bounce you back on the next turn, so you're not sitting there and holding it. Because the ideal is you pay the 1 rune once, and then you hold with the unit on it. I wonder if they're getting told when they can actually start. Game should be untimed though. It is untimed in the bottom right, so I'm curious why they're just like not letting him rip. I think Riftbound is a very fun game. I can see how these players at the very top level that have played thousands of games now at this point between online and in-person games are bored of the meta and they're expressing it, and that makes a lot of sense. I think there are some things that make me a little scared for the future, and like there's a lot of like the Jace tech where like you're playing Jace into, you know, the gear that makes 3 tokens every turn. And I was watching like a video of like Savige and I think it was like Silent Knight were playing a matchup. They were playing Aurelia versus Renata, and Savige just got 3 of those things out and he was making 9 unit tokens a turn, and it was just like, it doesn't matter what crazy hand you have, you can't survive that. Like, you need the thermo beam, you need something to destroy gear. So gear hate's gonna be a premium next set for sure, which might curb Aurora. We'll see. Okay, all right. The awkward fist bump handshake. I mean, it's a Riot game, so you're supposed to do the fist bump. Like I'll just, you know, if you're ever not sure, you should do the fist bump because it's Riot games. All right, so Ali going to ramp. Good start on a first turn. I'm interested if he got the choice, because a lot of times, sometimes the correct choice against an Aurora deck is to let them go first so they have less runes. We have 5. So he has stacked deck here, so he can actually grab, he just drew a Catalyst off the top, so he could just grab a Catalyst. Again, it's all about consistency. The stack deck makes this deck so much more consistent. So Ali's at 7 runes. Jonathan's at 5. He could play an Aurora next turn if he has one, or I don't know. I don't think I saw him have one. Patty Poor is going to score the first point. And then we have the Kaisa Survivor. And if Ali doesn't get if he doesn't have an Aurora or draw into an Aurora, then I think he just Mind Splitters here. And he even has Sabotage. So he could Sabotage first into a Mind Splitter, or he could he has 9, so he could Mind Splitter and then challenge and kill the Kaisa. Though I don't know if Jonathan's playing retreats. I haven't seen a retreat from him, which is a little bit surprising. We're digging for the Aurora, which makes sense. So his choices there were Mind Splitter, which I think is still good because it gives you hand knowledge. And he has Sabotage, so he can go for that Time Warp before it becomes relevant. He still has a turn for that, but you can either go Mind Splitter here or you go Misfortune. The advantage of getting Misfortune out early is Misfortune allows you to do shenanigans where you can ready units because whenever she goes and moves, you can ready anything. So you can ready a unit to basically that you cast. So for example, if you played Misfortune first, on the next turn you could bring, you know, if you don't accelerate or whatever you do with her, you could bring her to a battlefield to capture Sigil, let's say, and then you play Mind Splitter, bring that out. The disadvantage of playing her early in the first game is you probably don't have any yielding or any other tech for, you know, Falling Star or other cards that could just pop her. But if you do have her in play, she can ready runes for you, so you have more runes. She can ready units. She's just a really great tech card. Really cool card in the game. I'm glad that Misfortune has a deck so you can actually see her get played. I think she's an interesting card. I think if there's ever any really stupefy. Oh yeah. So basically this is different. So Jonathan saved a lot of what we saw last time is Jonathan saved a lot, kind of played patient, built up a board to go in. And here he's just spending as much as he can out, basically top decks or draws into that singularity, and then is able to then clear himself of Mind Splitter. And he would have been able to do it anyways. Like, so like if he waited a turn, saw another card. Oh, okay. Were you dead blooming? All right, dead bloom it is. I don't know. I feel like the thing that really gets me when I play into Kaisa is this retreat, and so it's funny to see a Kaisa deck that it looks like does not value retreat. I feel like they're always protecting their Kaisas. It's like anything you do to try to get to the Kaisa, and instead I think their answer is just run more Kaisas. Don't worry about the retreat. Don't worry about the ramp. You don't need it here. But it's 2-1. So Ali again. Ali's been in this position before, where it's like you have to find the line where at some point, if you don't have the Aurora, you got to play a different game. So he's playing big creature game, which is still tough for Kaisa to deal with. Because Kaisa can't. I mean, Cathian Rain here. So we have a Cathian Rain. We have Time Warp. Ali still has a Sabotage in hand. So we have a bunch of the big curve stuff here for this Kaisa player. But you can't a Cathian Rain here because the Cathian Rain, Dead Bloom Predator has deflect. And so if you Cathian Rain into a Dead Bloom Predator, you're just blowing all your runes. You're just going to 0 at that point. And actually, if you cast it in this instance, you would have to hit some of your own units. Because otherwise you wouldn't be able to kill the Dead Bloom Predator because you need 4, but then there's 2 more triggers you have to assign to something, which is kind of funny. So it pulls back the Poro. Should be it. Realize you should be at 4. All right. Always confront. He also has a fight or flight. He could, I don't think he wants to tap out is the other thing. Like, but he could go into Reaver's Row, but I don't know if that's worth it. All right, here's the Sabotage. So now he's gonna see, okay, the warp's there, and we've added to Cathian Rain, we've added a Watcher. So it's what can we target? And all of those are great answers pretty much. Cleave does not cost you a rune. You could sack into the Dead Bloom. He doesn't have Aurora yet. So I mean, this game is completely different agency wise if Aurora is in or not. If Aurora is in play, instead of having to play the Dead Bloom, for example, even, or heaven forbid the Mind Splitter, like there are more big creatures on the board right now and things are looking dire for Jonathan. But because Ali's Auroras are in witness protection, he's in trouble. All right, the Time Warp goes to the bottom. It's recycled. Ollie could play the Misfortune, although he knows what's in there. So he's going to gank over to the Reaver's Row. I don't mind this. I like this. That forces, like, if you want the free point, you have to spend a rune to do it. Respect it. Excuse me, headset. My headset just decided to turn off for some reason. Hello? It's just like, nah, I'm out. But we're back. All right, so let's see what Jonathan is going to do here. Because it's tempting. It costs you a rune. You can float the rune. So pro tip, if you're ever going into the Sigil of the Storm, you can float before you do it to use the rune if you need to. Oh, we're tapping 6. We're tapping 7. What are we looking at? What are we feeling? Are we doing this the slow watcher? We're doing the slow watcher again. Okay. I've seen Kaisa's more and more adopt this slow watcher. Ooh, okay. So we slow watcher to drop the dead bloom to 5, and then we we pay the iron price. We're gonna pay 3 runes to clear this dead bloom. I think that's the correct play. And then now he can't capture. So does he want to spend another rune? He's gonna go to Reaver's Row, and we're gonna draw off of that, of course. That would send us to 5. I don't know. I feel like 6 is so tempting though. Against Ali. Ali has a fighter flight, so he could push this back. I think he's considering delaying right now. And then he has a gust. Or no, is that this ride the wind? And Ali's just like, please give me an Aurora. Nope, that's not it. Again, Jonathan R is just the jujitsu master here. You know, part of it's the fact that Ali's deck's just not seeing Auroras. I think the last featured match he had that I watched, he didn't draw an Aurora either. So maybe way later in the game. And the crappy part about that too is that you know, game 1 is your power game where they're probably not going to have gear hate in, so they can't do anything about the Auroras. Where game 2 and 3 they might have thermo beam or something to get rid of your stuff. Okay, so he's at 6. So Jonathan just has to sit back. There's the Acathian Rain. Makes a ton of sense. And there's really nothing Ali can do at this point. There's really... You have a misfortune that you can send out there, but not going to survive. Oh, we have... Wait, is that primal strength? He's got to do something, so... We're going to get accelerated misfortune. It's going to go and capture Reaver's Row, I'm guessing. This is the just stay alive play. And then he can kind of do a pseudo stall, because depending on what Jonathan has or what he swings in with, he can ride the wind to the other battlefield. But the problem, when he has primal strength, and he can ride the wind to the other battlefield. So Ali lives. Like, this could be very dangerous. But there's also a world where Jonathan R kind of, you know, actually no, like Ali's still in this, because he has primal strength to survive, and then he has ride the wind, so he can, and ganking as an option. So even if Jonathan goes and stacks the other battlefield, Ali can clear it next turn with a 12 power fortune. And if he tries to like baby chump it here, let's say, for example, he just rides the wind to the other battlefield, he still has primal strength. So he survives whatever the attack in is. I think there's a cleave and a hex ray though. He's still... So what is he gonna swing? Let's see, he swings for 9. Let's say he leaves and goes to the other battlefield. Kaisa comes in and she represents 10, so I don't think she can't get over with just a cleave and a hex ray. We would need the Poro. Yeah, Ali can be really evasive here, because yeah, if Jonathan doesn't come in with small enough something, right? Yeah, so I think what's going to happen here is there could be a primal strength here that forces out Jonathan's buffs, and then after that happens, ride the wind to the other battlefield. Or is he gonna Reaver's Row back, give him the 7th point, and then in response go? That's interesting. I think I see the retreat in Jonathan's hand, so he does have the card. Makes a lot of sense. Thank goodness. Although not really the killer card here. He doesn't have enough runes to do the boomerang watcher, but that would be hilarious. He boomerangs the watcher back and then you would play it. It would be nuts. I think Ollie's just mathing out how to survive this, but I think he primals here. That draws out your, because it's 9, so you would need to draw out the cleave. That'll put them at, yeah, that'll put them at 12. So it'll be 12 to 12. Then he rides the wind over the other battlefield, goes to 5. Do you have a Darius in hand? Does Jonathan have a Darius in hand? Okay, so he primal rages. That puts him at 12. Cleave comes in. Do you have Darius? No. He's another watcher. Okay. So he cleaves to match. I mean, Ollie's only play here is to ride the wind. So he rides the wind over, and then he's against a 4 plus most Hexray, right? So unless Ollie has a gust or something in hand, I don't know what the other card is, but he needs to ride the wind because he needs to save the misfortune. Taking a long time on this one, but I kind of, because the problem with this is he won't be able, I think he's pretty much done. I think Ollie knows that he's in a lot of trouble after he does this anyways. So I mean, we're just basically buying a turn for the most part. He rides the wind over, capture, it goes to 5, but then he has to burn another rune, which means he cannot then in that case be able to cast Aurora next turn, for example, if he pulled it. But he could cast a Dead Bloom. Dead Bloom won't clear, but he can at least clear the big guy, bring in. But then he's basically just buying a turn because we know Watcher's in the hand for Jonathan. Jonathan can't clear. Gonna retreat the Poro. Okay. Okay. Because he still wants the big body there. So Ali has to draw something really good here. If he draws Dead Bloom, then he can capture with it. So he's a Catalyst, which is not going to do it. Plays Catalyst. Okay, he's just gonna Catalyst Bullet. Oh, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like we're playing out in desperation mode, but like, you know, really we should be going to the next game because there's no world where Ollie comes out of this with the dub. We know the hand. Probably doesn't expect. He's probably hoping there's not another Watcher, but we know the Watcher's coming. He was at 7, and he's like, if I hold, I'm good. And so, I mean, in his head, I mean, he's playing to his outs, so I don't blame him. We just know that he's in a lot of trouble. Can't have primal strength. Yeah. He's scooping. Double Hexray, Watcher, exactly the emphatic point to get us over the line. Belly's gonna go down game 1, but I mean, really the truth of the matter of this series is it's gonna come down to, do you hit your Aurora or not? And if you don't hit your Aurora, then you're gonna have a bad time. You're gonna have a sad time out there in Aurora land. Sign the battlefield still. Oh, it's the giant battlefield. So Aspirin's climb. It could be anything. It's just a giant Aspirin's climb. It's so funny. I actually like the jumbo battlefields. I think they're better for camera stuff too, but my bias take. All right, here we go. Starting with the Poro. And Jonathan making the Misfortune deck play first. And the tough part about this for Ali is going to be he's gonna have to pay. You have to cycle a rune. Ali needs to recycle a rune. Wait, what's happening? Ali should have recycled a rune for the Pouty Poro. Is he asking to go to the bathroom? What are we doing? Why? I'm just wondering why we have to go have that conversation over off to the side with the ref. That's kind of weird. I don't know. That's feels weird. All right, so he has double Aurora. And again, he's just trying to stall so he can get this Aurora, but he has no ramp. So this is where, like, you know, it's just the struggles of the Aurora life, where it's like it's like, can you find the Aurora or can you find the ramp? And we have the mech, who's one turn away. We're gonna, I think hopefully he finds a ramp. Is probably what he wants to do here. Instead, he's gonna take the fighter flight. That makes a lot of sense. So he can push away the mech. He has a lot more room, but this is still a very slow Aurora. But the good part about that is he can actually play them back to back. So if he plays an Aurora, let's say that Jonathan sighted in a thermo beam. I haven't fully seen his hand or not. Let's say he sighted in a thermo beam. You thermo beams. You follow that up with another Aurora, and you're feeling pretty good. Again, this is all just about stalling. It's 2 points, and you have to get to 9 on Aspirin's climb. So he's developing quite the board. But if his Aurora is stick, then it doesn't matter, because he's going to be getting 2 ginormous units a turn, which Kaisa, despite the board, is just not going to be able to deal with. And if he hits Mind Splitter off the rip, then, you know, he's going to rip the best card out of Jonathan's hand. We'll also get to see Jonathan's hand, which would be nice. We're not. We're gonna get Dead Bloom and base. Which again, this is a smart play by Jonathan to make sure that all his units are pulled back the turn that Aurora is going to come into play, so he doesn't just lose free units to the Dead Bloom. But he's only at 2 points. So value is premium here. He's going to get to draw a card with that Kaisa. Gonna play another Darius. What do we contemplate? We're thinking about a play, and then we went away. We're tapping 5 runes, so it could be Darius, could be another accelerated Kaisa. I wouldn't say that's a terrible play. He's not gonna. There's no reason to Cathian Rain here. He has Falling Star. He's probably thinking of what combo can he do that can limit. Okay, yeah. Points and drawing cards is good. We love points and drawing cards here in this house. That should take him to 4. I want them to count their points more instead of on the sheets, but I'm looking at the board. It's like always bugs me. It's like messy. Oh. Interesting. Must have a retreat or something for the Kaisa on the other board or something. Ooh, is he gonna stack it? Because the Aurora triggers will go, I think that they go off before you start the showdown though. Taps and he's showing 4 runes. So he has a lot of extra hate if you try to go in on this board, but I think he has to play I think he plays the second Aurora here, depending on what else is in his hand, but I'm pretty sure he just plays the second. It's really not the correct play, but he does have a lot of other things in hand. He does have a fight or flight. He does have some other stuff, some other juice. So, okay, there's the smoke screen. That makes a lot of sense. Puts him down to 4. Makes sense with the Yordle. So now he is winning at this location. He paid with Kaisa, then he paid a rune for the deflect. But he just needs to decide, do I want to take this trade? And he's like, you know what? I don't need to play anything else. I'm not going to get anything valuable. So he's going to play a second Aurora. And this is where if Jonathan's patient enough that he has a Thermo Beam in hand, he's going to Thermo Beam this, and he deserves the win. Mind Splitter, but if he did have a Thermo Beam, it's not going to be in his hand any longer. I mean, you can do it like this anyways, but... Oh, interesting. I'm guessing he brought that in because if you have the mech or other big cards, then you can kill his big creatures. Okay. I kind of like it. He's cooking. Like, Get Excited is an interesting tech to try to clear here. I mean, he doesn't have anything he can really use off it that's better, but Get Excited, basically you discard a card and you deal damage equal to its energy cost. So like, let's say like I have a time warp and I'm gonna win the game anyways, and I, you know, whatever, low mana, whatever. You could use the time warp to deal 10 damage and destroy a Dead Bloom Predator, for example, or one of his giant 10 Might Drakes. Then there's the Dead Bloom. And he has 2 left. He can have double Hextech Array. I think he just has a. He could Get Excited and then ditch something, but he just says goodbye. He's like, I'll keep my runes. This game's gonna get uncomfortable though. He's survived the set, but double Aurora is a different beast because double Aurora is just 2 big creatures every turn. And the scary turn is next turn when Ali gets to use his other cards, Fight or Flight, etc. Because after he untaps, he's not playing the 3rd Aurora, but he is going to play. He's going to have other cards. He's going to have Ride the Wind. He's going to be ganking if you don't start clearing stuff. There's the 10 Might Darius to clap back and clear. Going to put him up to 5. He's going to pull back his other units. Once you can get the active again, because you only get it on conquering. So if you're just sitting there holding it, then it doesn't really help you. And then the activated Darius that was on the base, he brought back. And you do that so that when Ali pulls other Dead Bloom Predators, they can't just go straight to the battlefield and clear his units. Now, all this said, now this is the turn, if you will, where there's 3 points still, so he can't lose. Ali can't lose next turn, but he's gonna hit 2 cards. Probably one's gonna be a Mind Splitter. So he'll be able to clear something valuable out of Jonathan's hand. But then he also has, looks like he has double Gust. He has a Fight or Flight. He has Misfortune he could potentially play as well. He has a Inverted Timelines, which he probably doesn't want to play at this point since his hand is stacked. He has a Ride the Wind, so he could pick up points, but he could also use it defensively to surprise his opponent, depending on how they attack and do things. Gonna pay 8. Oh, he has another Dead Bloom in hand. Interesting. Okay, so he's gonna play Dead Bloom for the hold. He has 1-up. So he has 1-up. He basically just has gust potential, but now, see, now he's going to hit. Now that's his second dead bloom, so his chance of hitting a mind splitter is even higher now. So there's either going to be another 10 might body that's coming down saying hello. Ooh, okay. He's going to hide a fight or flight. And he gets to untap 2. Mind splitter. There's number 1. It's like, here, you get to see what's going into my trash or going into the bottom of my deck. I mean, it makes sense that you write all these down because information it's valuable because you know how stuff is going to draw. So he's writing it down, and you have a limited time in the world, so it ends up mattering. It ends up mattering. You have double Aurora, so I feel like it's going to become irrelevant faster than it's going to become relevant. The cool part about Volibear Aurora decks that I saw was that a lot of people are now running Vi. The Vi is a good early drop, but also when you use her ability, you recycle all the cards into your deck. And so if you're playing an Aurora Volibear deck, the cool part is you can put your creatures back in your deck. There's never a point like in this case where there's a point where Ali could run out of big creatures. So Ali gets to look at the hand. He's double Hexray, get excited. So he knows it's just a bunch of direct damage spells. And to be clear, Jonathan has a board. That's a board. And now, okay, so he hits the Drake. So it's a question of, does he play it to the battlefield is what he's thinking, or does he play it to his base? And he's going to decide to play it to his base. So he's representing 15 on the board. He has a fight or flight. Worst case scenario, he could pull both back if he really wanted to. But more than likely what's going to happen is if Jonathan swings in, he's just going to send something big back so that he is able to get a value swing, and that'll be enough. So Jonathan has to swing in with enough that he can expect the fight or flight and still get over the top, which is a lot to get over 15 and have something big. So you'd have to swing with your mech and a Darius amped up, and then expecting one of those is going to get bounced, and then you'd have to have the follow-up. But that I don't think that'd be good, because what you're looking at, the rest on the board, you have 10 on the board, so 10 plus 17. Oh, there it is. He top decked a Watcher. He top decked a Watcher. So Ali's now holding with 5, 9, which is a lot more manageable. And Jonathan right now is playing the point game, so he's going to go to 7, and then he's going to probably cast some spells. He could double Ray. At least clear the... He could double Ray, but that would be bad because you're going to get fighter flighted. But he could double Ray, and that's going to ready the Darius so he can bring it back to protect it. Yes, Ali, it's as bad as you feared. It's -3 though, so right now you're fine. Oh, he's thinking he can gust. He can gust his own mind split. No, because mind split's not low enough. It has to be 3. What? Am I missing something? Yeah, I was like, that was a really cool play until it's only -3. Yeah, and you know, damage doesn't lower the might of the unit. So I think Ali didn't realize that he thought his mind splitter was dead, so he was saving it. So now, yeah, but now you just fight or flight in response. So Ali can fight or flight in response. Hextech Ray will fizzle because the mind splitter will no longer be at the battlefield. And then you have enough to fight or flight your own unit if you want. So he saves the mind splitter. Big. Dude, this board for Jonathan is insane. Insane board. Like, He's been so patient with it too, which is the crazy part. Because he could, so if he swings in with the Watcher here, he basically gets to find out. So if Ali fighter flights the Watcher, then the mech just comes in and cleans up the dead bloom. So he would have to fight or flight his dead bloom back. But if he does that, Watcher goes, then we'll send him to 8. Regardless, he's going to 8. Jonathan's going to 8 this turn. Oh, he just lets it go. Okay. He values holding on to the fight or flight more. He only has 1 dead bloom left in the deck. Jonathan's played such a good game into this. I mean, obviously the Watcher off the top saved a lot of this game because it made this turn really juicy when it would have been, you know, a big turn where Ali probably would have lost a lot of units. Jonathan's in a great position here. Ali's only at 2, so the max points he's getting is 2 off this next turn, so it's not like he can threaten there. He can hold. Does he have bullet time in hand? Bullet time would also be a big saving grace. He's going to stack deck. So Mind Splitter, Soul Gorger. He has to decide which one he wants, if he wants to cast one or if he wants to sabotage. He's contemplating, he'd rather pull them from the deck, they're going to go to the bottom. I think so. He has inverted timelines. Do you have a confront? Is that what that is? He just cast a stack deck, right? So shouldn't he only have 1 tapped? Yeah. Can take the sabotage. So I'm interested to see what else he has, because if he has a second Soul Gorger, then he can still hit that off the top. But he will not hit a Mind Splitter. But no smoke screen there, notably. Jonathan doesn't have a lot left, so FLE can just make a strong enough stand. Yeah, I think Jonathan right now is pointing out that he shouldn't have as many runes tapped as he does. He only played stack deck this turn, which is correct. Jonathan, good guy, Jonathan. He has Gus. He has two Gus, I think. He has 2 Gus, so he can deal with any little guys. Ellie's just hating stuff right now, but I think he's deciding whether he wants to split the battlefields or not and go for a hold and basically beg Jonathan to top deck. That's what it really comes down to. Because if Ali hits Soul Gorger, he can bring something back, put it into play on top of the base. He doesn't have a Mind Splitter down. Okay. We're just going for bodies on bodies on bodies. We're holding as hard as we can. He recaptured, so he's going to get 2 runes at the back at the end of this turn, too. And so now we're Aurora time. So what do we hit? Full time off the top. All our ramp. Our other Aurora. Mind Splitter. He drops to get excited. And then Soul Gorger, right? I think it's Soul Gorger's left. Jonathan's in Heart of the Cards mode. Top decking is going to determine a lot of his success here. Because Ali has double Gust. There's a Soul Gorger. He doesn't have 2 Soul Gorgers. He has... I've seen some decks going towards double Soul Gorger. Its body is not very good, so if you hit it early, it sucks. But if you hit it at this point, then you get to choose, pick your poison, which she can basically just bring back out a Dead Bloom Predator. And now he just basically gets to decide what battlefield he wants to put it on. And Jonathan's at a point right now where he's at, he still has turns. He still has turns before this becomes a true problem. He has 2 more turns before Ali can just straight up win. So theoretically, he could, if he can be patient and draw more cards, depending on what this is. Now it's mathing time. So he won't have 2. So he won't have 2 cards, so he can't buff Darius this turn. Make Darius like a 7. We know that Ali has. Do we have 3 runes open? Okay, that's not as bad. So Ali has a fight or flight, and he has 2 gusts. So basically, unless this card in his hand is a Watcher, there's no world where this turn goes well for Jonathan on a swing, probably. So we have 26 at the Aspirant's Climb. Okay, we're playing the Dead Bloom. We're passing. So he's basically saying, hey, I have 2 more turns. I have 2 more turns before this is a problem. And Ali might have pulled this off. He does have inverted timelines. So the nice part about inverted timelines is if you inverted timelines, you recycle your trash into your deck. You would get access to more units. The problem is Ali, where he's sitting, is like he doesn't want Jonathan to have more cards. So there's no world where. In this case, do you just shuffle the deck, or what happens? Because do they all get revealed? There's no unit, and then you shuffle. At the end of your turn, reveal cards from the top of the main deck until you reveal a unit. Play it, ignoring its cost, and recycle the rest. Yeah, so you would from the top of your main deck until you reveal a unit. Play it, ignoring its cost, and recycle it. So recycle the rest is at the end. So you'd reveal all your cards. There'd be no unit. Then you'd recycle them, which means you would shuffle them because it'd be random. So you would shuffle your deck technically twice, but I figure in this case they can just do it once. So he draws at the top. It's a pouty pour. We go to 8, and then next turn's the final turn. So he has built up as many units as possible, and the top deck that will probably get him the most value is a Watcher. And Ali has 2 gusts, a ride the wind, I think a primal strength in there somewhere. Ali's now like, my deck plays itself. Huzzah. The fun of playing as an Aurora deck. All right. Jonathan's hopes and dreams top deck. He needs a Watcher. We're in here. Oh. It's not bad. It means that Ali basically doesn't get to play anything from his hand because he didn't hide anything. So now we're just down to straight math. So it's 26 on Aspirant's Climb, and it is 23 on Peak, I believe. Go 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Versus, so it's 23 and 26. I mean, he could take one battlefield, but it doesn't matter. All he has to do is make sure he kills the Kaisa, and there's no chance. Jonathan doesn't. I'm sorry, brother. You don't have enough math. There's no math. Because what? You're 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 23 over there. I mean, like, you can clear one battlefield, but the funny thing again about this game is, again, Ashburn's Climb is the reason Ali was even able to have a chance in this game. He's gonna get at the finish line. I think you swing and Ali just does the smart thing and destroys your uh 13, 17. We used to draw one card. Unfortunately, there's no card that clears the other 26 might battlefield. All right. All Zimabos. Double Darius in the opening hand. Not necessarily what we want to see. It's good for getting over the top of one unit we saw. You know, the Cleave Darius is a good way to clear the first big unit as long as it's not the Drake. All right, so again, chose correctly for Ali to go first. Ali is going to draw with Confront. Okay. Ooh, he has a possession in his hand. Oh, well, he finds the Aurora, so it's the consistency of the MF Aurora deck. He finds the Aurora, so he's good there. The downside for Kaisa in these matchups is Kaisa has no ability to influence the hand of Ali. He's going to go double 2-drop, so that he's going aggressive, low to the ground. This is good. Still can be gusted, obviously. Oh, and he finds ramp. Oof. Oof. Jonathan, so close, but now drawing all his Fury Roots. He's gonna get on the board. He's gonna go to 2. And the question is, what does Jonathan want to play? He's gonna slow play Kaisa, makes a ton of sense. And here comes trouble. So Aurora ramps into it. And our first hit is going to be hopefully not a Mind Splitter for Jonathan. And unfortunately, I jinxed it. It's not even just that the Mind Splitter comes out and like takes a card. It's that the Mind Splitter. Oh, are they talking about him being able to see the cards that were flipped over? I think yeah, because basically I think Jonathan wants to see the cards. Because he's been writing down the cards as they've come through. So they could see that, hey, both Auroras got recycled. So I know that he doesn't have a second Aurora in hand. Like, because that is important information. So savvy of Jonathan to stop him and basically say, hey, let me see the cards. Because you do have to reveal the cards. It's in the card. You have to reveal all the cards. And so usually people go through it fast and you're just like, whatever. But Jonathan's like, hey, this is for first place. This is for the finals. So he's basically like, hey, let me see these cards. And now that he knows that you don't have a second Aurora, that could change some of his decisions or feelings about this. Now, on top of that, the Mind Splitter is just the worst thing that you could have come off the top first. Because people think Deadbloom Predator because it stops your points and it puts a body. Yeah, sure. But hand information, the fact that Ali knows the hand of Jonathan, that's the real damage. Yes, you lose a card. That is very powerful. and it could be any card. But the fact that it's, I also just know what your hand is tough. He goes to 4. Point tempo wise, it's not bad, but it's not ideal. We can pull back. He can kill. Depending on what he drew, he has a good chance to having a good swing back into his opponent. You know, play Darius, get it out on the battlefield. So yeah, when you play against a Misfortune or Aurora deck, part of it is that you need to be able to get stuff out. And sometimes you, like, if you have a Watcher in hand, like saving it for the Accelerate Watcher turn might not be the correct play. Sometimes, depending on what they've played in the board, what you've seen through the Aurora, is you may need to just play it out there and get it out of your hand so you have the 7 might body. Because the card's powerful off the rip, but it's painful if you lose it to a mind splitter. You use it to mind splitter just off the rip and you never get to play the card, which is the battle that I end up with when I play against this deck as an Ari player. And he just plays another mind splitter from hand, just shredding his hand to pieces. So next turn, he can play 2 cards. He's ready the Darius. Cleave would be the strongest ability because it gives Darius to 10. Yeah, he gets rid of the Cleave. That makes sense. And retreats become even more valuable also too, because if you do happen to play, let's say, a Watcher out early because you're getting it out of your hand to avoid a Mind Splitter, then you can then retreat it back to your hand to cast it and get the -3 effect. Or you can do stuff like he could retreat his Darius, replay the Darius, Darius comes in ready at 7, etc. Now he's deciding if he wants to stack or not. Maybe he doesn't. He's going to keep it in base. Let's say he retreats a unit, he stupefies. That represents 8, 12, 13, 14 at most, which would be enough to trade with the Mind Splitters. But now he's like, great, okay, well, I might just go capture to draw, which would be a good play. But that is assuming Ali does not have a fight or flight hand. Although he could retreat, if he fight or flights, retreat, replay the Kaisa, accelerate, go back into the base. Stupefy and draw first. Okay. Over for something big. If he draws another 2-drop, he's going to be hating life. He drew another Ravenbloom student. Unlucky. Unlucky. He's going in. He's going for the draw. There's the fight or flight. So now he can do... He can retreat, play her, go for draw. That is a play. Not the best play, but it's a play. He's just really trying to get cards in hand. Trying to get a power card. Because he doesn't have any power cards in hands left. Like, he has good mid-range stuff, but he's already looking at a stacked battlefield. It's going to be really hard. Oh, so we do... Okay, he just swings in the lookout. What's he get? He has a get excited. Get excited with no other big cards in hand, it looks like. He has a Lecturing Yordle. He could keep going down this path of draw cards and hopefully hit something, but he'll only have 6 energy left after he played a Lecturing Yordle, which means that he can't play anything big like an Cathy Rain or something that might help him clear the at least some of these Mind Splitters. All right, yeah, he's gonna go and capture, probably bring back the Darius. He's given up on his card draw dreams, basically, with the retreat pattern, and so he's basically just gonna ready and activate, and then bring the Darius back, which makes sense. And we continue to develop. There's a get excited. Is excited retreat and I don't know what that other card is. Is that a Yordle? Because theoretically, if it's the Yordle's only 7 though, right? So you could clear a unit. Retreats. Okay, we're retreating. Oh dang, we're digging deep. We're retreating the Yordle to draw. Okay. And the sad part about all this is he could still just rip another Mind Splitter off the top with Aurora. it's if you like finally hit a card after all that draw, he's cycling through so much just to draw for answers. It's like you really got to find a lot of back-to-back value to beat an Aurora deck. Still has one battlefield open, but it can be taken with ganking, so that is still a possibility. Misfortune also is still available on the board. Jonathan is in a tough spot. All right, here we go. Oh, there it is, the Mind Splitter off the top. And he gets rid of the big Mecha Yordle. The big body off the board. Mind Splitter, man, it's the reason this deck is good. If it was just another big body, it would not matter as much as the fact that it just eats your hand alive. He's lost, what has he lost? He's lost a Mech, a Darius, and a Cleave to Mind Splitter. Cleave not as bad, but the Mecha Yordle and the Darius is 2 big bodies that he could be using to do something. And now we're getting to the point where he can spend stuff to clear one of these battlefields and try to claw back a little bit, but he's playing into a lot of runes that Ollie's holding. And then like B, if you lose too much here, you don't have a lot in your hand. Like your hand's getting thin. You just drew as much as you could last turn, and it, you know. What did he play? He didn't wait, so he's not playing. Jonathan's not playing Dreaming Tree? Huh. Because like Dreaming Tree would solve a lot of woes in this matchup. But he must not be running it because he's playing to win out the Kaisamirs, and I'm guessing. All right, we're slow playing a Kaisa. We have 8 left. Is he gonna pass? Okay. He passes. Ollie's gonna go to 5. Wait, what's happening? Okay. Ooh, so he's drawn 2 of the Dead Bloom Predators. And he has a possession too, so like insult to injury is like even if Jonathan full swings into one of these boards and takes it, right? He's like he's gonna possess your biggest unit. It'd be funny. Possession is slow and it has to target a unit on a battlefield. So right now, like it's not like he can possess a unit in the back line of Jonathan. That would be obnoxious, but I think he's deciding what he wants to do. But I mean, I think right now you just slam, right? You slam Dead Bloom. Oh wait, wait, does he have a volley bear now? Johnson's like, what are you playing for 12, sir? He's like, surprised it's a volley bear. I'm playing volley bear, obviously, clearly. Everybody's favorite card that I added in between game 2 and 3. Oof. Jonathan's just like, all right, well, fun watching games just disappear in front of your eyes. But this is also, you know, going back to the George post we talked about a little bit partway through this game, like this is kind of what he's talking about, where it's like, okay, hit Aurora on curve and I'm at the mercy of my top decks and his top decks. I lost 3 of my big creatures or my ability to swing in off of Mind Splitters. Now I'm looking at battlefields that are stacked over 20 plus already. The good news is he tapped out. So it is one of those things where you basically gotta go. Like you gotta go at some point. And it's just where do you want to go? So he's gonna go 2. Oh, he's gonna go 2 into volley bear. Does volley? Interesting. Okay. The volley, when you swing it, has shield 3 and tank. So 3 of that damage is not going to matter on the swing in as much. I wonder if he's like, I wonder if he's like trying to solve so they can swing in, clear that, and then get the draw from a Kaisa or something. Yes. He has to clear the volley bear if he swings into the other side. And you've already put the damage in there, so you might as well. You're still going to be dealing with, what, 721? Because the volley bear has shield 3, so you're still going to be dealing with. Right now it's down to 4. It'll go up to 7. So yeah, 21 you'd still need. You play a second spell. You're at 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14. You have 22. If he swings with everything, right? 7, 8, 9, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah. He cleaves the Darius. So Darius is going to go to 10. 10 plus 4 is 14. So he'll be able to clear 2. Okay. Then he double swings in with Kaisa. Loses 1, gets to draw 1. Hopefully that was an amazing card. If he has time warp, that would be that would be the money play, right? I mean, it wouldn't win the game, but at least he'd go, yeah, that's game. GG's. Aurora too strong when you hit Aurora on curve to play out the game. So yep, expect everybody, if you didn't have Auroras now or Misfortune deck, expect all the prices to skyrocket. Have fun out there with that. Congratulations to Ollie for winning and taking this game. Man, he's the winner of the 10K Orlando PPG tournament. Congratulations to him. Aurora, MF Aurora on top, flew out to this tournament on a whim, and ends on a win. Great to hear from him. And it sounds like everyone else that's in the tournament is going to have a lot more fun in this 5K today. A lot of people are done playing Kaisa and Annie and stuff like that. They want to try some different stuff, I guess. We'll see if that actually holds true. I've heard a lot of players say that, and then they still end up playing Kaisa or their meta deck because they want to win the cash money that they flew there for. So anyways, that's it for me. Hope you had a good morning. Hope you had fun watching this top cut if you've stuck with me throughout this. And without further ado, congrats to Ali. Hope to see him in more tournaments coming forward. And excited about Spirit Forge stuff. And if there's future tournaments, I'll be on it. But I'm going to go play some Riftbound with my brother-in-law and family and all that kind of stuff and enjoy kind of some birthday time. And so, yeah, without further ado, remember, you're going to be amazing today because you are amazing. And I'll catch you next episode.